So, whether you want to draw a short character or just create an LC worth protecting, this video is going to show you how to draw the best shorties out there. Let's get to it. There are a couple of differences in the anatomy and facial structure of a smaller anime character. These tend to trip up artists that aren't used to drawing smaller characters. So let me explain these differences to you. I'm going to start off with the most obvious point, and that being the height difference. I think Igarashi is a pretty good example of this, since she's pretty small, so let's use her. Now traditionally, anime girls stand around 6 heads high, but as you can see, shorter characters tend to stand around 5 to 4.5 heads high. When scaling your character, one of the things you can do is think about an anime head as being about 1 foot tall, since they're around the same size. It's not exact, but it is pretty close, so if you want your character to be 5 feet, make them 5 heads tall. Now, there are a couple more things to keep in mind when drawing a shorter character. Even though the body's smaller, you need to remember that the hands and head stay the same size. So when you shrink your character down, don't shrink them, but keep them relative. Now, the feet also want to be made smaller, but large shoes look really good on smaller characters, so keep that in mind. Now, as long as you remember these little body proportions, that should be that out the way. And it's time to move on to the most challenging and fun part, the face. Okay, here's one of my personal studies I did a while back explaining the differences. When drawing a shorter character, the face is probably where the most differences occur, so this kind of deters people because they believe that they have to relearn how to draw a face, but that's not true. You can actually utilize the same techniques that I've shown you personally in my how to draw a face video or in any of your own methods that you find best. You don't have to relearn how to draw a face, just use what you know. So we're going to start off by giving her a much smaller jaw and a slightly more prominent cheek. Everything else like the ear and the size of the skull can stay the same. So for the next step, the guidelines we use to locate the eyes and mouth don't need to be changed. But just like every drawing, we can use these guidelines to place the eyes, which we're going to make slightly larger for a little bit more of a cuter look. Now you can take this one step further and actually change the shape of the eyes to make your character appear a little bit more cuter, but I actually don't think that's really necessary and any eye works. As for why I'm using the same eye in both examples. Now, if you're having trouble trying to figure out your character's chin, there's a little technique you can do to make it easier. Typically, you can take 2 of your character's eyes to figure out where that chin would lie, but with our smaller character, you pretty much want to use 1.5 of their eyes. Now at this stage, there are a couple of little things you can add like a cowlick or blushing to make your character appear cuter, but it's up to you. And there you have it, that's pretty much the differences between a taller and shorter character. So now let's take what we've learned and draw a whole character utilizing it. Now this is going to be fun. So for once, we're not actually starting with a circle, but a gesture line. The original plan was to have her leaning forward into the pose, which I later just cut off at the chest. Next, we're going to sketch out the head, remembering to keep the chin quite small and also puff out the cheek just a little bit. Then we can add her ear, helping us line up the eyes. And when drawing these eyes, we're going to remember to keep them quite large and have them, I think, looking at the camera. I'm just going to neaten up the chin a little bit, and at this point, I don't actually know which character I'm going to draw yet. Sometimes I tend to just draw a general face and then add a character later, but after seeing the cheeky little grin this character was giving me, I had to draw Takagi-san. So this drawing was going to be a full body piece, but in the end I decided to just cut it at the waist. Although I always recommend drawing the whole body anyway, because it always gives you nice form and makes sure all your anatomy is correct. Next, we're going to draw her hair. I'm going to try keeping it quite bushy and flowy. And remember that each one of these strands always finds its way to the top of the head. It's a really easy way of drawing hair if you just branch it off from the top of the head. At this point, I was considering adding a hat, and I couldn't quite decide, but in the end I ended up going for it. Now we can get rid of our skeleton underneath and really neaten up our line art. Right, she's looking cute. Let's add some colour to her. So I'm not doing anything complicated with the lighting, but she's wearing a hat, so half of her face should probably be in shade, so let's do that. Now colour palette wise, let's keep things kind of bland and browny. This should help complement her brown eyes and hair. Now here, I'm trying to show all the complex shapes that could be formed within the hat by just kind of scribbling in a couple of different colours. I think it works really well in the end, but at this stage it looks a little bit messy. Now I'm going to add a little bit more rendering detail to that hat, merge all the layers together, do a little bit of line art cleanup, and there we have it. She's looking really cute. I'm pretty proud of this one. So as you can see, by using the methods we learned today, you can create any short character. And that's the video. Thank you very much for watching. Please do leave a comment. It really does make my day reading through them. Thank you so much for all the nice comments, by the way. It honestly, it blows me away. But yeah, if you want to talk to me in person, jump on Discord and share your art. I really do like to see it. And yeah, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Get drawing, okay? And have fun. Good luck. See you later.